Hello and welcome back to the That Was Easy channel. Today I'll be showing you guys a super cool card trick, and more importantly, I actually just kind of upgraded my setup. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I got a new light so everything should look a bit brighter, and I got an actual microphone because until now I've just been using my iPhone audio, but now we actually have an actual mic and a nice light, so the quality of the videos should be getting a bit better. But now I'll show you guys the performance of what the trick looks like. So here I have a regular deck, as you can see, all shuffled together. So now I'll go ahead and take the deck and just cut it a couple of times just to show that there's no funny business going on. And I could even have my spectator do this, but sadly I am all alone. Now that we're here, I'll go ahead and just riffle through the deck and have my spectator tell me when to stop. So let's say they say to stop right there. Okay, I'll cut the deck and take the top two cards off. These are going to be my spectator's two cards. Now I'm going to turn away and not look at the cards, and you'll just have to trust that I'm actually turning away. But there are the two cards, and make sure you guys remember them, but I wouldn't exactly know if I get the trick right until I'm editing. So now I'll just go ahead, place those two cards back on top, and put the deck all together. Now your two cards are completely lost in the deck, and we can even go ahead and cut the deck a couple more times just to make sure that they are completely lost. And we could even make them a bit more lost by dividing this deck into 4 equal piles. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay, and now that we're here, we can shuffle them up even more. Let's take, I guess, these two piles so that we're not going in order, and just shuffle them into each other. There we go. And we can shuffle the other two piles while we're at it. Now that we're here, I'll go ahead and shuffle both of these two piles into each other, but rather than doing it normally, I'll flip one of the decks over and shuffle it in this way. And there we have it. Now we have all the cards mixed in at random, and there's no way that I could be controlling cards this way. But with the snap of my fingers, some magic happens. I'll go ahead and slide through the deck, and you'll notice that all the cards are black, except one of them, the two of hearts, which I'm assuming is my spectator's card. And then, if we flip the deck over and go through it one more time, you'll notice that all of these cards are red, except for one of them, which is the Jack of Spades, which I'm assuming is my spectator's other card. So now I'll go ahead and show you guys a tutorial of how to do this trick. But wait, before we go on to the tutorial, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment some other tricks you'd like to see me perform in the comment section down below. But for now, let's get on to the tutorial. Okay, so before we start this trick, there's actually a little setup. So what you have to do is set up your deck so that you're alternating card colors. By this I mean you want to start with a red card, then go to black, red, black, and do that for your whole deck. Now feel free to pause the video so that you can go ahead and do this. Now, what you want to do is just show your spectator the deck. But if you just fan it out for them like this, they'll notice that your deck is just set up. So what you want to do is just kind of show clumps of the deck at a time. So rather than showing every single card, just throw off clumps at the deck like this so they can't actually see that the deck is set up. Once you're here, you can cut the deck a few times because this won't actually change your alternating pattern of the deck. So you can do this as many times as you want. It really doesn't matter. Next, now that you're here, you'll have your spectator choose their two cards. And I do this by just cutting the deck in half and having them choose two cards. Let's say you cut it right here. Next comes a really important move. First, what you want to do is take the top two cards. But rather than just taking both of them off at the same time, you want to reverse their order. By this I mean getting this top card below the second. And you can do this quite simply by taking off the top card, just like so, and then dealing the next one on top of it so that the order has been reversed. And this basically sets up the result that we get at the end of the trick. Now that we're here, you can show your spectator the 2 cards, and I'll go ahead and look at it myself now, but as I said in the performance, normally I wouldn't do this. Now that you're here, you can place the 2 cards right on top of your deck and place the rest on top, just like so. And now that you're here, you can go ahead and cut the deck a few more times if you want, and it really doesn't matter. Just don't do any riffle shuffles or anything of the sort that'll actually mix up your alternating pattern. And now, although I said this was just to make the deck a bit more shuffled, it was really part of the setup. And by this, I mean you want to divide this deck into 4 equal piles. And when you're doing this, you want to maintain the same order of dealing. So in my case, I started on this side and went to the other, and I'm just going to keep doing that for all the cards. Now that we're here, you actually want to combine the piles in a very specific way. So although during the trick I just mentioned that I wanted to make it a bit more shuffled, which is why I took these 2 piles and these 2 piles when I was mixing them up, that's actually because the trick requires it to be done this way. So you'll notice if you take this pile right here, you have only red cards. And if you take the pile that's not touching it, you'll have all the red cards except for your spectator's card. And you'll notice that in this pile, we have all the black cards except your spectator's card and all black cards. And this is why you want to combine decks in this alternating pattern once again. So you want to take first and third packs and just shuffle them. And then take the second and fourth packs and just shuffle. Now that you're here, your trick is basically complete, and you just want to shuffle these 2 decks into each other, except you want one facing up while the other is facing down. And this part can be a bit tricky, because if you show your spectator all of your cards, they'll see that it's only the red cards plus theirs, and they'll notice that something's up. So just try to keep all the cards lined up whenever you're shuffling, so that they can't actually see what you're doing. And now that you're here, you can just do the big reveal and show your spectator that there's only one red card amongst all the blacks, and when you flip the deck over, there is only one black card amongst all the reds. If you want to know how to do other cool tricks like this, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment something down in the comment section down below. But for now, I'll see you guys again later. Bye.